There are games, and then there are games that stay with you. Games you stop playing, but somehow never stop thinking about. For me, Paladins was one of those games. It wasn't perfect, not even close. It had its bugs, balance issues, questionable decisions, Hi-Rez doing, well, Hi-Rez things. But underneath all that was one of my favorite hero shooters ever made. I spent an unhealthy amount of time playing this game. Thousands of matches, late nights that somehow turned into early mornings. Champions I still remember years later, like Fernando, Maeve, Rogos, Makoa, and Droxus. They weren't just characters, they had personality. You remembered their voice lines, their playstyles, their animations. Even now, I honestly connect with Paladins champions more than the cast of some newer hero shooters, which is exactly why I think Paladins deserved something it never got: a second chance. Look at Overwatch. Blizzard practically slapped a 2 onto the title, and despite everything people criticize about Overwatch 2, millions of people still play it. Paladins never got that opportunity. Instead, it slowly disappeared. Not because nobody loved it, but because it slowly stopped being talked about, until one video appeared on YouTube. I'm trying to buy Paladins, and honestly I laughed. I genuinely thought, no way. There is absolutely no way somebody thinks they're buying an entire video game. But you know, curiosity got the better of me, so I clicked. The channel is called Paladins 2 Project, and the creator behind this idea goes by the name of Sprray. And surprisingly, he wasn't promising miracles. He wasn't saying, give me money and I'll own Paladins next week. His idea was much bigger than that. Buy the IP. If that wasn't possible, license it. If that wasn't possible, build a spiritual successor inspired by everything people loved about Paladins. Was it ambitious? Absolutely. Unrealistic? Maybe. But one thing was immediately obvious: this guy genuinely loved the game. Except there was one problem: the internet. The internet had seen this story before. Passionate creator, huge promises, crowdfunding, donations, and eventually disappointment. So it didn't take long before another creator stepped in. Creator called Nabicook uploaded a response, and he didn't hold back. He basically tells everyone that this is a scam. He points out that buying an IP like Paladins would cost millions, which is true. He questions why nobody in the Paladins community knows this guy. He says the comments look AI generated. He even warns people not to donate any money. And honestly, if you watched only that video, you'd probably walk away thinking, yeah, stay far away from this. Because let's be honest, the internet has seen enough fake crowdfunding campaigns to make anyone cautious. But then Sprray uploaded a response, and this is where I expected everything to completely fall apart. Instead, it actually became more complicated. He says he never claimed buying the IP would be easy. He says fundraising wasn't the goal. He mentions if the project doesn't go anywhere, he would refund everyone. Buying the IP was only one possible route. He even says, if you don't trust me, don't donate. That isn't exactly what I expected to hear from someone people were calling a scammer. But now, does that automatically mean he's telling the truth? No, absolutely not. But it also doesn't automatically make him a scammer. And I think that's an important distinction. Here's where I stand after watching both sides. I think the dream itself is actually kind of awesome. Imagine Paladins getting another chance. Imagine the original champions returning. Imagine all that crazy loadouts and card builds coming back with modern polish. Who wouldn't want to see that? But dreaming big and actually pulling it off are two completely different things. Buying or even licensing a game like Paladins isn't something one passionate fan can wake up and do over a weekend. Just to even give a bit of a list, you need lawyers, developers, investors, negotiations, millions of dollars, and a serious business plan. This isn't a Kickstarter for someone's indie game. It's an established IP. So do I think people should rush to donate money? Personally, no, not at this stage. There's simply too much uncertainty. But do I think it's fair to immediately label the guy as a scammer with absolute certainty? I don't think the evidence is there. Being skeptical is healthy. Making accusations without proof is something entirely different. And honestly, I think both sides made mistakes. Sprray made the mistake of introducing money way too early. Even if donations weren't the focus, the moment money enters the conversation, people naturally become suspicious. But Sprray did mention that on the GoFundMe, he's trying to raise 22,000, which is definitely not enough. But he did mention that he would have put $1 million. It's just that the GoFundMe does not allow it. The highest he could have done was 22,000. So who knows, if he hits that amount, then he will do it again and do it again until, you know, he hits $1 million. I don't think he would be capable of just getting that 22,000 and just topping off with the rest that he has just to buy the game. Sprray made the mistake of introducing money way too early. Even if donations weren't the focus, the moment money enters the conversation, people naturally become suspicious, especially online. On the other hand, calling someone a scammer is a serious accusation. That's something you should be able to back up with solid evidence, not just gut feeling. The funny part, this entire drama might end up helping Paladins more than hurting it. Because you know what's funny? Before this, when was the last time you heard people generally talking about Paladins? Not because somebody declared it dead, not because Hi-Rez released another update. People were talking because for the first time in years, someone was talking about its future. Whether Sprray succeeds or whether this whole thing falls apart, I honestly don't know. And no, I wouldn't be donating right now. There's still too much uncertainty. But after watching everything, I also don't think it's fair to confidently label someone a scammer based on what I've seen so far. Maybe this ends up going nowhere, or maybe it sparks something bigger. Time will tell. But if there's one thing this entire situation reminded me, it's that I never actually stopped caring about Paladins, and judging by the thousands of people arguing over this story, neither did a lot of you. So now I want to ask you something. Forget Sprray for a second, forget the drama, forget the accusations. Do you think Paladins deserves another chance? Because honestly, I think it always did. People always compared Paladins to Overwatch, but Paladins never had Blizzard's budget, marketing, and to an extent, its polish. But yet somehow, it still built a community that refuses to let it die. That alone says something. But anyway guys, that does it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, you know what to do. Drop a like, subscribe to my channel, that really helps me out a lot, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Let's crank out and move out.